this one is the new nightlife, the future of nightlife entrepreneurship.
Hey,
You don't want to give him that much credit?
Hey, give me some credit.
Hey, by the way, are we live already? We started?
No.
All right. Woo-hoo. Yeah, we are. Hey, welcome, Eric. How are you, man?
Good.
We're so happy to have you here at the Nightlife Entrepreneur podcast.
You better
Yeah, man, we're excited. We're right here with your man, JM, who's going to be asking you a lot of great questions.
Thank you for coming, boss.
Thank you.
We're happy to have you here. And why don't we introduce ourselves with our hashtags?
There you
and
go. For the first time, I wrote it down here. I'm like, do not forget today to mention.
Man, hey.
By the way, I wanted to ask you something.
Yes.
Like the past few weeks, are they called hashtags? We keep calling them your hashtags, and I don't think they're called hashtags.
Your handles, your
I have
hashtag.
no idea. My handles are here. They're like lovely.
You love handles.
That's why I keep them on the table.
I hear you.
But
I don't know. But
anyway.
hey, people can find me. My name is Aiko Manzanero. You can find me at Aiko Taps Beer and at Doral Food and Wine Festival.
And you can find me, Julio Mario Zambrano, at the Nightlife Entrepreneur on Instagram, and LMG Miami is where you find our parties.
Well,
How about you?
You can find me everywhere. I'm just messing with you. All right, my Instagram will be Erick R Diaz, B as in picture, and you can find me pretty much in Brickell, the nightlife during the weekend.
Hashtag us.
Hashtag us.
Yeah.
Right?
So you can find our podcast on YouTube, on iTunes, on Spotify. You can find
Podomatics.
us on Podomatic, and you can find us on Facebook also.
Yeah, man.
So
Show some love.
Nightlifeentrepreneurs.com is our website also.
Or if you come to Egg Bakery right now, you can find us live.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Thank you to Exxon Bakery. Look at all this stuff, man. It's
Hey, amazing. Really good. Really.
I mean, most people call this a donut, but they call it a bombolona.
No, a bomba.
Bomba, is
Bomba,
it?
but
Bomba
us
is-
Venezuelan we call it bomba,
Oh,
which
okay.
is pretty much just like a donut, but there is usually something inside of it.
Listen.
Like
Yeah, this one's
Anything with the
really, really
green
super
or-
bad. It's Nutella.
no,
Be
or
careful,
Nutella.
okay?
Oh my god.
Be careful with La Bomba. It can have a double effect.
Exactly.
All right? Be
So
careful.
thank you to Gustavo.
Yes.
And
Thank you,
here at
Gustavito.
Exxon Bakery.
Where is
for-
it? Where is the Eggs and Bakery? Where can people find this?
This is here in Brickell.
Amazing
man.
location.
In Brickell. It's 900 South Miami Avenue.
Yep.
There's only one reason I know that address, and it's because it's in the same mall that Blue Martini is. So I know it very well.
Shout outs to Blue Martini.
Yes. All right, so we have Erick Diaz with us today, and
Eric.
we actually wanted to do an interview like this one for a while because this is someone who, I mean, I can say he's starting, and the reason I can say he's starting in the business is because I've been in this so
Mentoring
long,
him?
but you've been doing it already for a while. It's not just starting.
About 2.5, 3 years.
So for some people, 2.5
Cool.
years is a lot of time, especially
Hey, and
millennials.
by the way, he's treating us, so he's
Thank you,
doing
man.
good.
Yeah.
He's doing good.
There you go.
The money's coming in.
There you go.
The money's coming in.
So yeah, for some people,
Yeah.
like I was saying, 2.5 years for some people, especially millennials, feel like is a lot of time. Since I understand that most like to do things for like 5 years and go to the next thing, but for us looking at it,
I think 5 years is a lot, Julio. I don't think they get it to 5 years.
even worse is what I'm trying to say. Like being
Explain
somebody
that to
that's
us.
being somebody that's been in this business for so long as our we.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to get out of it. I mean, I change once in a while. You go different ways in the business, but actually jumping from one thing to another is kind of weird. And that's one of the things that led us to start the whole mentorship idea and programs and tutoring and courses.
Just
on
exploring
the
other directions and other avenues of the business.
So the reason I'm mentioning this is because Erick, even though he's been around for the past 2.5 years, he's been making some changes lately, and some of those changes have to do with him taking this a little more serious than most and wanting to go in the right direction. And one of those things was actually running into us and deciding, you know what, I would like to work with you guys and understand a little more of the business.
Awesome.
So with that said, I don't know if there's anything you want to say to begin with. For example, what drove you as a promoter? Actually, not just a promoter. You were actually a company owner. What drove you to go from doing it on your own to thinking, maybe I go in this direction and I get mentorship from people that are already,
Well, let's start
Yeah.
from ground zero.
Yeah.
there you go.
It's funny. A lot of people start many careers the way that I started it.
Of course.
I was in college. Well, I'm still in college, guys.
Stay
but
in
I-
school.
But I
Not.
decided to move into my university because I never had that college life. So I was like, if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it all in, right? So I had this friend that he used to go out every weekend. I had already surpassed that because I had done it before. So
You already had surpassed what?
Yes.
That whole like going out every
yes,
weekend type
every
of
weekend. It was
vibe?
every weekend, and then you
Yeah.
get tired. Usually
Yeah.
happens. So sometimes happen
Yeah.
before a certain age. Sometimes happens afterwards.
Right.
But for me, it had already happened. But it was this friend that he kept
Sometimes it happens
insisting-
twice.
Yeah.
Yes, sometimes happen, and 3 times.
yeah.
And he kept insisting me to go. I was like, all right, let's go one day. So funny thing, I went to the party that I'm now actually working as one of the sub promoters there. We went to Bloom one Saturday, I remember. So we went the following week again, and then we went the following week again.
So you got kind of hooked.
Yeah,
on
we got
on
kinda
the
hooked.
Saturday Bloom night.
But it was funny because every time that I was going out, it was 7, 10, 15 people coming with me. I've been doing sports for years, and I was always like kind of like a leader, the captain. So people like got used to like following where I go.
So you were the one putting these 15 people together.
Yeah,
before
yeah,
going
they
out.
were. Hey, what are we doing this weekend? I'm like, oh, let's go to Bloom. I wasn't getting paid. The only thing I was getting because of a friend that he started just being a promoter was I was getting it for free. So I was
Got it.
like, all right, might as well. So the owner of
Which
that
might mean nothing to some, but 10
Yeah.
people, at
It's-
$20
Were
a pop.
you getting it for
$200.
free and everyone else was paying? Or
yes,
was it-
everyone else was paying. I think the girls were in pain.
And what sport were you?
Well, I did a lot of sports. I started doing baseball all the way to soccer, which I played a second division professional here in the
Awesome.
U.S.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I did not go to college with the soccer, even though that I did get a scholarship. There was some family issues, so I decided to stay.
And when you were doing sports, you had that like team leader
Yes.
kind of
Oh.
attitude, and this is where you kind of identified. Well, you were kind of also being a team leader, but to go out to Bloom on Saturday nights.
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, I still remember this story that every time we used to go out to travel to play other cities, they will put me in the same room with the troublemakers.
Oh,
Why?
Okay.
Because they never wake up. They always were doing stuff. So they put me in that room because they knew if I was in that room, they would wake up.
of course.
They will wake
You were
up.
team leading you were team leader that whole situation.
Not in the bad way,
yeah,
but
yeah. You would just like,
They were like-
know how to handle it and get them to go wherever.
I would say I don't care what you do the entire night as long as at 7 a.m. you're awake.
You're awake and you're ready to go
Exactly.
fishing.
So I started going, and by the 3rd week, the owner of that company is Mauricio Portales. You know him. He actually
Miami
Yo, that's
Party.
his boy.
He
That's
asked
James'
me,
boy right there.
he asked me,
Yes,
hey,
sir.
why don't you join us in the promotion team? And I was like, why not? I said, hey, in my mind, I'm a numbers guy, so in my mind I was like, they have 3 parties. I only need to bring 10 people. I'll get paid $50. Out of the $50, I put gas in my car for the rest of the week. The other 25, I'll go wakeboard because that time I was going wakeboard every week.
Okay.
And I'll get in for free, maybe get a few drinks for free,
Need
party
some-
for free.
Party for
Pretty
free.
much.
Get paid to party.
Yeah, they pay me to party, exactly. So that's how I thought about it. At that time, I was a financial advisor. I had my own office in Doral, so I did not need any like money to like support myself
Because-
apart. But I say an extra money, let's just enjoy it.
Yeah, let's live life.
Funny thing, the first week the check didn't come $50, it came 70. So I was like, all right.
More
the
gas.
I'll take the extra 20
Exactly.
to go to Budare.
I can party a little
Okay.
further.
Exactly.
I said I would take the $20 extra because we used to go to Budare Bistro here in
Okay.
Brickell. Shout out to Budare.
Yeah.
Every week.
It's the shout out show
Yeah.
today.
Yeah.
So then the next week I did 100, then 150. Making the long story
Yeah.
short, it got to a point that unfortunately I had to stop doing what I had to do, but I was already making 300, 400 a week, being just a sub promoter, working 2 nights a week, Thursdays and Saturdays, making between 300 to 500 a week. That's why now I tell every single person that start working with me, if you let me teach you a little bit of what I know, I'm not the biggest person, but I know how to make $1,000 a month. Which, hey, $1,000 partying, it's amazing.
Of course.
Because you're getting paid to party.
It's at least a good first step, right?
Yes.
At least.
So I did that for about a year and a half, and then I had the opportunity of starting my own party. One of my old friends, which is technically part of my family now, Gustavo, a DJ, and we know him.
Shout out to DJ.
Another shout out.
I was waiting
Shout
for
out,
that
bing,
one.
shout out.
I was waiting for that. We should have a ringer and be like, "Pip."
Yeah,
That's right.
another shout
That's what I was doing right now. I was ringing my effects.
He contacted me with someone. I started my own party about a year and 4 months ago in Punch, with the same owners from El Patio.
Shout out to Punch and El Patio.
Well, to a patio. Punch doesn't exist
We are
anymore,
shouting everybody,
unfortunately.
yeah.
But,
Same
but
people.
still,
This is
shout
awesome.
out. Ding!
Yeah.
So that's how it started, being not only a sub promoter, but now
Now you're
looking
starting-
into like a business. That
course.
was the big picture now.
All right, so you jumped from sub promoting to
Main promoter.
starting your main promoter business with. Okay, so this was yourself. You had another partner.
No, I actually, the funny thing, the person that I contacted to, he was contacting me for being a promoter on Sundays. But I had already done a couple of events, actually only 3, but I had some small people working already with me. And I said, hey, I actually fish into it.
When you said small people, is it like sub promoters?
Yeah, like sub
that
promoters.
just had smaller groups
Yes,
of people?
exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. They weren't, I won't say that I'm the biggest, but
Yeah.
they weren't at the same level I was, but they were starting.
But they were bringing, exactly,
Yes,
they were starting.
bringing 5, 10 people,
Cool.
which, hey, it
all adds up.
Yes. So he called me to be a promoter on Sunday, and I was like, hey, let me fish into this river. Maybe I'll catch a fish.
Yeah.
And I said, hey, I have some promoters. What can you offer me?
Yeah.
And he was like, well, I have this party for Fridays. I can give you 50% of the party. And I was like, let me think about it. So I said, let me ask my partner. Funny thing, I did not have an actual partner. I did have a friend that worked with me that I was literally all the time with him. He was my colleague, my promoter colleague.
Got it.
And he was always telling me, hey, we can do this, we can do our own party, we can do it. And I knew we could.
At this point, you're both promoting.
Yes, we're
You're
just
both
sub-promoters
Okay.
for the same company.
Got it.
And he was always telling me that, and I already knew that because I had already done it with like private events.
Yes.
But I'm the type of person that I don't rushing into
Yeah,
things.
you like to analyze the picture.
I like to do it right.
Got
and
it.
when you do it, all of a sudden, you don't do it right.
Yeah.
So I always...
the first good step is the fact that you didn't do it alone.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know that's one of the first things that we
That's a good tip.
that we teach or tell people that they should be doing is don't do it alone. Find somebody who has those things that you're missing. You know what I
Your
mean?
other
Somebody
half.
that complements you. You know,
And also to-
like you,
to-
Or your
Quilla,
other third.
You compliment
or
me,
fourth.
Quilla.
Shout out Sugiya.
Boom.
Hey, and also, at the end of the day, it's a numbers game. So you both kind of
Yes.
are hitting the
Don't-
same.
I always say don't try to take everything into you
Yeah.
to like gain all the money just for you. Well, you can split it and maybe do something even bigger.
Yes.
Because
Awesome.
I prefer to have the 50% of $200 than the 100% of $100.
Exactly. Very good. So that's a great tip for all our viewers out there and all our new promoters that some of them want to just do it alone, because this is a tough business, and it's a business where it's hard to find, in your case, your Kia, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's hard to find somebody who's not gonna who's gonna really be transparent
Guys,
with you
this
and
is
be
a marriage.
honest.
It's a marriage.
Yeah.
I mean,
and it's
I
a
think even
nightlife
worse
marriage.
because you're
Yeah.
more time with your partners than with
completely.
your
No, and
family.
it's a
Completely.
nightlife.
And it's business. It's money.
business
Yes.
where there's a lot of opportunities where a lot of things could be done under the table. So that's
And you
why.
don't have the sex. unless you guys have a different kind of,
That's
you know.
why that, yeah.
Well, it didn't come with me.
It was nice. It was a
So
yeah.
coming back to what I was telling
Yeah.
you, and so he was telling me always that.
Did you get nervous right there? No.
yeah,
No,
right.
no,
Yeah,
no,
it's
no.
kind of fair. It's okay, man. It's all right.
No, guys. Well, you're gonna make me out.
I know.
Like,
Don't worry,
what's
we'll,
up, man?
come out or
we'll
something.
edit that out. Not.
Why are you changing our interview, man?
So I used to tell him, hey, wait, it's not the moment yet.
Yeah.
It's coming, but it's not the moment yet. So when I got that call, the first person that I thought about, it was him. Why? Because he was always with me. Actually, I helped him when he first started. He started after me.
Got it.
And I saw he was going the same direction with the same mistakes that I already had done. So I took him aside one day and I was like, hey, be careful with this, with that. Try to do it this way.
So the tip is kind of like, hey, partner, find that right partner, so you
Exactly.
guys could kind of have more eyes on the pudding, right? And also share your experiences. You know,
Yes.
Especially, he just mentioned their mistakes.
their mistakes, exactly. You were, you know, talking to him about certain things that you learned, and there were certain things that he learned. So so you right there kind of identify your power couple. Hey, let's move forward, and now let's try to take this Saturday
I
night.
A lot of
or
people
this
concentrate
Sunday?
on the
was-
good
it
stuff
was a
they
Friday,
do.
it was a
You guys
Friday.
have to concentrate on what are the things that didn't work. Remember,
Yes.
what didn't work. All those things that didn't work, make sure you don't do it again.
Yeah.
I
you
think
know?
the main tip for what I was telling is,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter if you're the boss, it doesn't matter if you're a sub promoter or you're the cashier. The point is that you guys are working together.
Yes.
And there's gonna be that time that if you help Julio's gonna help you back. And it could be as easy of helping somebody go in and put it into their name, not your own, or giving them an advice that you already know that it's gonna happen because you already went through it. I think
Got it.
that's why I did it, because nobody helped me and I wanted to help someone so he didn't take the same mistake.
What I love about that is the fact that it took me probably, the best part of 20 years to realize
Wow.
the fact that you needed, that it's more about, making it fair and about everybody else, not just you. You
And
know,
sharing that love, right?
Especially
For
in this
sure.
dark business.
And
that's why it's called
one
night.
One of the reasons why it took me probably so long is the fact that it's a shady business. It's we spoke in one of the first episodes about money being owed
Yeah.
to in this business, and it's crazy. Like today we've seen like 3-4 different people and they've been telling stories about how it happened to them here and there, and in the end you have to just sacúdelo.
Yeah.
Forget about that.
Or
and
you could
let
call
it be, let it
1-800,
go.
we'll go get them.
Well, hey, I have stories about some Russian dude.
Yeah.
They used to call him the break leg guy.
If he dies,
That's the only
he
thing they
dies.
knew
Oh, I heard a
about him.
story about that.
But it's
You-
crazy.
yeah.
But the reality is, you have to let it go
Yes.
and just focus
stay
on
focused
what
on
didn't
the
work.
positive.
Fix it the next time, and maybe that's with a contract.
Learn from your
or
mistakes.
Learn from the
Yes.
mistakes. That's the
and
main
help
thing.
others that
Exactly.
they're going
And-
into that
and-
hole.
So
Yes.
Eric, so now you got your partner. Now
Yes,
you guys
I got
are
my
making
partner.
money.
We're making money. Actually, the third
Excited.
partner was the one that contacted me, and I said, "Hey, if we're doing this, let's do it right. Let's create
Okay.
a company. Let's just not be
This
promoters."
is you and your partner.
No, that's me, my partner, and the person that called me.
Oh, okay. So now you're
we had a
telling him-
meeting.
You said, hey,
let's say
do
like
this
the
right.
three of us right
Yeah.
now, and I said, "Hey, I want to do something that lasts."
Of course.
Not just a party that tomorrow it's over and it's over.
Yeah.
I want to keep making money even if I'm not there. So let's do something. Let's create a company. And it's funny because I know Julio wants to talk about it right now, because one of the things that he always says is don't put the name into you. Put it into something that will work even if you're not there. Right or wrong?
Completely.
Shout out to Julio.
Those are one of the mentoring tips that JM has given Eric, and
Yeah, I think
then we'll get into the
he
whole
pulled that
fact
out of
that now.
he pulled that out of the book.
Yes.
and
He pulled it out of the
and we've
book.
talked
It's
about it
true.
too.
I thought about it, but he had
You
it on
read the book, right?
But yes, of course.
Awesome book.
Great.
Where can people get the book?
You shouldn't read it
Amazon.
once. You should have read it two, three,
Well, you should
four.
read it at nighttime and then at daytime. I'm sure
Yes.
it has two perspectives.
I want to mention something. When we make a decision as to mentorship, people see it as whatever, like
Yeah.
if you're gonna mentor somebody, you're probably getting some money out of it or whatnot.
Yeah.
The reality is, we look at mentorship a little more like is this somebody who's actually going to listen, learn, and change his life because of the mentorship?
Exactly.
That's what I saw in this guy. The fact that he's not lying about reading the book more than one time. The fact that he can actually, a lot of people talk about reading the book, but a few people talk about what the book says.
Exactly.
And actually applies it, in real life. So, I don't want to jump into that part of the story where he's at today, but what I can say is that there's been changes that I've seen in a very little time. And the mentorship for him, although it's not coming directly from me personal, it's coming from a group as a whole. So he's getting a little more benefit in that sense. It's something that's I know that's gonna take him to the next level for sure.
Cool.
Because he's actually taking all the information and using it.
What I think about what Julio is saying right now is that I look at it this way. I was a sport guide all my life. Okay. What do I mean by being a sport guide? You always had a coach.
Yeah.
And if it wouldn't be because of your coach, you wouldn't get into either championships, either trophies.
Yep.
You always had someone to tell you, hey, you gotta sprint faster, you gotta lift more weight, you gotta throw it.
Another point of view.
Look,
He's watching you. He's
and
motivating
you'll be surprised,
well.
but you do have a coach. It doesn't matter what you do. You always have a coach. It could be your dad,
girlfriend,
it could be your girlfriend, wife, even your kids.
Yes,
because that was something that I used to tell my dad all the time. You'll be surprised that you might learn from me more than what I would learn for you, or backwards.
Yep.
So you never know who you will learn the most on.
Oh yeah, that's something we were talking about last week. Like, I'm sure there's gonna be a lot of things that I'm gonna learn, from him and from those guys that I'm mentoring right now.
Things new.
Oh, for sure. But for some reason, something that's been weird is it's a lot easier for me to mentor people in New York, in Canada, in the UK, than in Miami. For some reason, and especially if they are in my same niche, like
Venezuelan, Colombian.
the upscale Latin American.
I think it's because
most
most of us, like counting myself, we have especially like I'll talk good and bad of my people, which is Venezuelan. No, it's true. We all know that we have such a high ego that sometimes we prefer to like get digger in that hole, like go dipper and dipper, than actually like say, hey, you're right. How do we fix it?
Right.
So now you're with your partner. You guys are making money. Are you guys like married or single? Like you guys are. Okay.
Making it a little bit the story long short. Throughout the course of a year.
Okay, that's what I was gonna ask you.
Yes.
How did it
we
go after
created 4 good parties. I will say that every single nightclub that we got, it was either brand new or they did not have a party that day.
These are recurrent weekly parties.
Exactly, recurrent weekly parties.
And you had 4?
4 at the same. We got people telling us, "You guys are crazy."
Yeah.
Doing 4 parties all of a sudden, a new company. I think that was one of the things that got my company to get known so well in such a small period of time.
What was the name of the company?
It was Miami Empire.
Miami Empire.
Cool. So, shout out to Miami.
Shout out straight up. Shout out to Miami
Empire.
Empire.
So we got a punch that was literally non-existent in the middle of nowhere, Biscayne and 53rd. That's literally in the middle of nowhere. There's no traffic of people saying, "Oh look, they have a party here. Let's just walk in."
Okay.
We got that party and we made it
zero.
Like the place was new.
How many people were you getting in there?
The first month we had an average of 1,007 people, if I'm not mistaken.
What was the capacity of that?
The capacity.
By the way, when you're in this business, you remember the numbers.
Yeah.
You never forget.
The legal or the.
Well, you had to go in to.
It's not 1,000.
It wasn't 1,000. It was like about 800.
Wow.
So the max that we got, it was almost 1,200 people. It was funny because this is I have both sides of this story. When you open a new party, what can happen, good or bad? But our first party ever, we said, hey, we're not ready. Let's give it at least 2 weeks of promotion. But the place was like, I need to open now. And we said, all right, let's do a soft opening this week. We don't promise anything. We're just going to bring some friends so they can see the place. It's literally in the middle of nowhere. Let's see how it is. And then the following week, we do the grand opening. We had 2-3 waitresses, 1 or 2 bossers, and 2 bartenders. 1,200 people showed up
For that soft opening?
for that soft opening.
Wow. Now, let me ask you, why is it that you guys were having that success?
But I think the main thing that I think why is because we were so united and doing it out of like straight up love.
Okay.
And we were just wanted to achieve a goal, and there wasn't greedy in us.
But was there like was the DJ? Did the DJ that you guys were bringing out that night had anything to do with it?
We had a great DJ.
What was your marketing and your way of promoting it for like a soft
It has to
opening?
be a perfect storm, by the way. Now you mentioned the DJ. Like DJ is one thing,
Well, the
staff
DJ.
is another. The venue,
Exactly.
the address,
No, but just
the team.
for like for a soft night that you guys were like, hey,
Soft opening, you mean?
Yeah, soft opening. All we want is, I don't know, I guess you guys wanted just 400 people there.
Yeah, 200 to
500.
300 people. Actually, that's what we said to the place.
That's
bring
what we
200 to
said last
300
week.
people.
Under promise and over deliver. Remember?
Yes, yeah.
That's exactly what happened to
That's
them.
what
that day.
we told
And
them.
was
hey,
it based on calls? How did that happen?
To be honest, we did everything. First of all, you mentioned the DJ. At that time, we had Christian Terán.
Okay.
He's a great DJ now here in Miami.
Shout out to Christian.
And everybody knew
They
him, and
knew him,
everybody
but
knew your parties.
he did not had a weekly or a company party. He has just come from Venezuela. He was well known in
Over
Venezuela, and our crowd was mainly Venezuelan.
Okay, cool.
So we add up that to the equation. Promotion, we did Instagram. At that time, there weren't Instagram apps
okay.
that you could pay.
So how were you promoting?
We-
Facebook?
No, we actually just upload the flyer in Instagram, in our Instagrams, in the promoters' Instagram, that they weren't even promoters. They were just people that we said, hey.
Influencers, maybe.
So it was
no,
all based
by that
in
time,
boca a
not
boca.
even- exactly,
Right.
the boca a boca, and
Everybody
also,
knew
Word of
that
mouth.
Your parties were fun.
but no,
No?
it was our
It
first.
was their first party as a company.
Our first
I
party.
mean, one of the things is that number one, you're creating a new company, so people have this expectancy of what are they doing? What am I gonna get from this? You have three guys that have different clienteles that look alike in a way, but they're not like the same people. So you're adding. You're not like getting to the same people, and they have different strengths, which is a good thing. You know, I mean, one of them, and again, I don't want to spoil the story. The fact that they're not together today doesn't mean that they weren't good together.
killed it.
He killed it,
He
right?
killed it.
Hey, cut. We'll just
rewind.
Now you want to know about that? So
Yeah, you want to know.
So
about
if
Yes.
they start a company, yeah. As a matter of fact, you know what? Forget that party. Forget the whole thing.
it. Wow.
If they build a company and they're three,
Yes.
which to my experience, three is a great number.
Yes.
You know?
Because there's always
You know,
two
you need-
people that are,
No, and-
and there's that one, the deal breaker.
And the other way, if you have a real partnership, you're 50-50, you're equal in everything. And if you're two people making a decision when you guys are not on the same page, it's almost impossible.
It's all-
right.
okay.
It is.
So you need a third person usually, or
I
or
think-
a long-lasting relationship
Exactly.
like we do.
Yes.
I think what helped us
Shout
the
out.
most
Bing.
in that marketing area, it was that at that time I used to live in the university. I lived in FIU in actual
Okay.
campus, and there were two things that helped me out a lot. One, I literally got about 2,000 to 5,000 flyers, and I put them everywhere in the university. We're talking about the entire campus, every single dorm, every single.
Remember, that's one of the old school things that
See,
people
yeah.
forget. People do not pass out flyers. For some strange reason, they think it's not worth anything. It's not worth the money. It's completely worth your time. And the main reason it's worth your time is because you're
people
actually
see it.
talking to people. They're seeing you. You're seeing an actual person.
And
you're
they keep
touching
it.
them. You're
They
having a
keep it.
conversation. It's real. Yeah, and some people might throw it away. It doesn't really matter, but you had the conversation. You don't give a flyer like, boom, throw it.
the
Or
thing
you don't
about-
leave it just in one. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
the best way is to give.
Give that
I
person.
think
can also
the
leave
thing
some
about
around
flyers is consistent, because if you do it 1 week, it could work maybe, but I did it for an entire month.
It's a reminder.
An
Also.
entire month, put it in every single dorm.
We now know that you started a company. It was great. You did everything that you should have done to start it. You got the partners. You built new parties. You got over 1,000 people to go to the parties. This
Man,
is
everything's
like
great.
unheard of in most new companies nowadays.
What happened?
In cities like Miami, it's hard. Imagine anywhere around
Yeah.
the rest of the world. Now, we know that it didn't go the right direction for whatever reasons, and for whoever, because we're not going to be talking about that specifically
so it was greed,
on this episode.
and that's it.
But after that, you decided, fuck it, I am not going to stop doing this. I got to continue. And you made two decisions. Number one, I'm going to continue working with maybe these people. And number two, you decided, I'm going to start again a company. I don't want to.
And basically now you live and learned.
2 minutes before I get into that, I want to show them why. Remember that I said it was.
We have another shout out.
There was a good side and the bad side of opening a new party. Everything started happening when we opened our fourth party, which was a lot already.
So do you think it also had the fact that so many you guys started doing so many other parties
I think
that
so.
contributed
I think
to
so,
the whole
but I don't
greediness
think so at the same time.
Okay.
Why? Because I think you need to be patient on everything you do,
and
not everything goes out as well as that party. Because making it short, our fourth party that we started, literally 27 people only came.
Okay.
We went from 1,200 to a party of 27.
27.
So imagine, not every time it goes good.
Of course.
Don't
get discouraged.
When it start building problems within your partners, you need to be patient. Especially the worst thing you can do is fight over money. I think that's, I'm sorry for the word, the stupidest thing you can do.
Yeah.
Fight over money.
Would you advise anyone that if things are going well so fast, you don't have to take it all? Would you advise somebody? Would you guys think, like, you know what, if things are going well and you have one party going well, second party going well, once you have three parties going well,
three is enough.
Don't go into the fourth, fifth, because that could kind of also stir up everyone to get more greedy. And at the end of the day, I'm assuming, hey, more parties, more money, less hours of sleep, right? Less hours of sleep,
but not always more money. Not always more money.
Not always more money. So imagine this: not always
Sometimes
more
it's
money,
less money.
less money and less sleep. So now people are a little edgy.
Look at it this way: how many clients can you get in a week? Let's say, right? Now, okay, so you have one party and you have 1,000 people. All right, now you have two parties. How many people are you gonna bring? You probably have maybe not 1,000. Maybe you'll have now like 1,200 people, because some of the 200 that couldn't go out on Friday can go out on the Saturday. So you have 1,200, but the 1,200 are not all going to go to both days, right? So now you get them split, and you get 600 one day, 600 the other.
You throw that Tuesday night party.
Yeah, and then you do another night, right? And then that other night, and it keeps just getting, less and less, because you can put less effort into each night.
Exactly.
All right. Unless you're dividing that effort amongst other people.
And it's not about the money at
etc.
this point. It's more about the company name that you're building, and kind of like just as that forefront of like, hey, call us when you want to go out at night.
I think that was the main thing we did so many parties.
Yeah.
It's because we started already like from zero with two.
Got it.
It was crazy, but it was taking a decision that if you don't take it, somebody else will. And at that time, you still haven't fallen. So you have nothing to lose. We were into that nothing to lose mindset. That I think that's the best mindset you can have. Why? Because when you think about, like, I had nothing to lose, that's when you do your best things.
Exactly. Okay, so thanks. Everything went
good, and then all of a sudden, boom,
great.
It's just like a story, just like a movie.
Yeah.
Everything goes well. You find the girl of your dreams, and then boom, something happens.
Yeah.
Well, and it happened twice.
She hits you.
It happened twice. Not once, but twice in 1 year.
Wow. Okay.
First of all, it was a big fight between my two business partners.
All right.
If you realize I've been trying to jump to the next step, is because I don't. Like, I try not to focus
on the back
on the negative.
But sometimes you need to learn those.
You guys need to learn the mistakes for sure. Everybody needs to understand the mistakes.
And it's great when I hear about other people's mistakes, because when I'm about to do those mistakes.
Yeah, but what I mean is this.
Yeah, let's get to the.
If two people in a partnership don't get along, or if people end up fighting, or if people are greedy, right? Those are not mistakes.
Yeah, those are all.
Those are people's problems, and that's separate. And
learning,
we'll have a psychologist one day. But
totally.
But when it comes to the business and the things that you can control, that's where we need to focus.
You need to know how to separate business and everything else.
You know what? They're all growing pains, and believe it or not, they're great growing pains, because I'm sure, and I can't wait to hear about what happened right after that. Like,
what happened was that I created a company was literally, I'm gonna say money so you guys can hear that you actually do make money.
Okay.
Was I'm the one that takes care of the finance of the company, so I know all the numbers of the company.
Okay. So you opened up a new company.
No. What happened is that I went from a company that was producing 30, 40,000 a month, not sales, earnings that were coming into the company, to nothing. So you literally happens to every human in their life. You digging into a skewer hole and you're like, what do I do with my life now?
You heard right. $40,000 in earnings in a company a month in this business, and that is a normal number. That is, I mean, I'm not saying it's like the like
for me it was incredible. I've never had a company
it's amazing.
In 1 month you do over 40, 50K. That was like
exactly. So
whoa.
It's good numbers.
Let's make arepas.
It's good
Especially
numbers.
at that time I was.
It's possible numbers.
Yeah.
I was 20, about to be 21.
Wow. Listen
the
to
ones
that.
that last-
21 years old, making 40,000 with his buddies at the time.
Partying,
getting paid to party, having
I mean,
fun.
There's work, of course. There's
Hey,
work.
by the way, you were still going to college, right?
Yes, I was still a full-time student.
Good.
That's his only mistake right now. No, to each his own.
Okay, so
what you're saying is that the actual venue will kind of see from afar, oh, these guys aren't getting along, and use that to their advantage.
Yes.
Yes. You remember when Gaudi spoke about a few of the things that management and ownership were doing against the promoter? Remember something.
Shout out to Alex Gaudi, by the way.
Promoters who are good promoters,
good friend,
are nightclub partners.
Yes.
You have a whole bunch of sub-promoters that are fillers, and they're just bringing a few people, and they're happy with their $50, $250, whatever it is. They make a night and take that home, have a couple of drinks for free, get in for free, bring their girls, and that's amazing. Good, because we need you guys.
Yes.
But the ones that are thinking making this as a career, you guys are the ones that are planning on maybe owning your club at some point if you love the business. But right now, you actually own a percentage of each club you work at.
Got it.
For that night. So, make the long story short, looking at it from the club owner perspective, when a promoter is getting more attention than the club owner, when a promoter is in control of a night, let's say the night is on Thursday nights, right? But it's Thursday night and it's called Fulanito's night, right? Whatever the name you want to call that night. That means, okay, if there's a name for the night, that means that this group of people can leave at any point in time and go to a different venue, take all those sales from the venue. So the owner starts feeling, a little...
Yeah, he starts getting a little nervous.
Sometimes they see, okay, these guys are promoters and they're having issues amongst them.
Exactly.
Maybe I can separate them, have them work for me directly, and be, my direct promoter. I don't have to give him this whole percentage.
Exactly.
They will earn less, but they will have to do less.
So for those promoters out there and coming into partnerships, be very careful and not letting those club owners or bar owners take advantage of whatever situation. It's almost like what you were saying right now. You were saying that sometimes when you feel depressed and sad, you got to kind of fake the funk and you got to keep that smile. It's very important that you keep that smile if you're having problems within each other in front of whoever you're doing, because at the end of the day, you're doing a service. And that's where it could get a little tricky. You could get a little comfortable and feel that it's okay to have an argument in front of the club promoter. Club owner.
Then again, putting on the shoes of the club owner.
Yeah.
You have to look at the other side of the business. You have to realize this is the guy who put the money in, right? This is the guy who's
turning on the electricity.
Came up with this idea with he came up with the concept, and this is the guy who basically cannot make the sales.
Yeah.
So he needs your help, right?
Yes.
So he's hiring you, and he's feeling, okay, this person that I hired, he's is helping me. They should feel like, okay, we're a team. It shouldn't be different than that. That's great. But if the promoter that comes in is taking over and making people feel like I'm the boss, like I'm the one, and don't listen to the owner, and starts to treat the owner like like I'm the shit here, not you.
Which it happens a lot.
And it happens a lot because there's a lot of ego in this business
Yes.
for some strange reason. It should just be
And it happens
teamwork.
both ways too. Sometimes it's
in
the
either
owner
direction.
and
In
not
either
the
direction.
promoters.
In
Of
either
course.
direction, there's an ego issue in either direction, and it's a problem because it should be one team. Everybody should, like, the longest lasting parties are the ones that you have an owner and a promoter that get along well.
You created your own company, and now what? Now you're doing it alone?
Yes, I am doing it alone. At the beginning, I said I need a partner, but that's an error.
Oh.
Why? Because if you don't have one, you don't need one. They just come by itself.
Okay.
You don't have to look for one. They naturally come. Why? Because it's like looking for a roommate.
And by the way, you've already been in the game by this time
By
of the
this time
story, like
for
2 years.
A little bit more than 2 years.
All right, so now everybody knows you. Everybody
Yes.
knows the story. You guys broke up.
Yes.
And you're being confident enough to say, you know what, I'm going to start by my own, and that partner will come
I
eventually.
still got my clients, new clients coming in,
Beautiful.
referrals. My personal job is done.
And what party
now.
were you doing?
By
Alone?
that time, I had a Saturday party, Baronesh.
Nice.
Shout out to Baronesh. So I had another company partnered up with us.
Okay.
And this was the final boom.
Oh, wow, there was another ba-boom?
Yes, this was the
Was it
final
a ba-boom
boom.
like this?
Like the bomba?
like the bomba from
I'm
here?
about to
From
take a
Yeah,
bite,
but
by the
this
way.
one doesn't
Hey, taste
explode,
it, man.
guys.
Taste the bomba.
Sorry, man.
Hey, he wants to eat it. I know. He's been looking at it for the past
If
half
you
an
guys
hour.
explode in the middle of the interview, it wasn't my fault.
All right, so this was the boom, boom, boom. I didn't have partners, but I still had my party. My promoters were working. They were good. We were decent. We weren't the best company, but we were good. Especially because we had partners, which was another company. And then when you think you're rising, that's when you boom fall again. So what happened was that the same thing that happened to my company happened to my partner company.
Oh.
They were kind of like 3.5, 4 partners, and then boom.
And you were watching them, you were like, oh boy.
No. And I knew
see it coming.
I saw it coming. I told the guys, hey, one of the guys, this is what's gonna happen within the next months.
Yeah. Wow.
All right, so let me ask you a question. Why did you think that was going to happen to them?
Why did I think that was gonna happen? Because it had already happened to me. It was the same steps, the same problems, the same issues.
So the main issue was the people. It wasn't really more things that were happening. It was more the people that were involved.
Yes, it was the problems within the group.
Okay.
What do I mean with the problems within the group?
Thank
Since I had already seen problems happening to my company, actually I told them that to that person, not because I wanted them to break up or tell them, hey, I told you so.
Yeah.
I wanted actually the opposite. I wanted them to stay together and not happen what happened to me.
Back to
the
where we
story,
are
yes.
today.
What happened was that other half left, and it was the final boom. So when that other half left, it's funny. Look, this is where
It
the
goes
other
ba-boom again.
the boom.
Listen,
That
that
other-
boom is about to go down right now. All right, go for it, Julio. But that boom, there you go. All right.
Okay, now
How
guess
is it?
what?
How is
Guess
it?
where
It's
the
good?
other half went to?
Oh boy.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm telling you, I love this guy, man. He's like a novela over
You're
here.
right.
Like, what's that? Okay, so what
I've
happened?
been trying to talk.
Yeah, like, yo, hey, production, can I get the popcorn, man? Like, this is getting like, I want to like sit back, like,
Yeah.
all right, what else happened, man? Like, let me get the 3D glasses. Like, all right, go,
So-
boom.
The other half comes to me and says, Eric, what do we do? And I'm like, hey, why don't we do something together? We have already been working together for a year. We know each other
Okay.
from before. You know that I'm a really laid back person. Like, I'm a chill person.
Yeah.
I do my thing, but we already know how we work, right?
Exactly.
So
the other half of that company, you had you kind of vibed better with
No,
that.
I have a good relationship with both.
Okay, but one of them approached you.
But one of them
Okay.
actually came to my house and said, look, we're splitting up. I was the first person that knew that.
Yeah, everybody goes to your house, by the way.
Yeah.
Everybody goes. Your office is your is
Yes,
home, right?
it is. Actually,
Furniture.
you'll be surprised. The people in the front that tell me, you're the person that has the most visitors in the entire building.
So, boom, the other half comes.
we
Partners with
were
you.
gonna do something together, and then
Another boom. Please don't tell
no,
me
it's
there's
a
another
boom
boom.
boom.
It's a
boom boom. It's not a boom boom.
No.
It's a boom boom.
Wow, in this business, I'm telling you.
Everything happens for a reason.
Of course.
What happened was that another company that they've been around for so long contacted them.
Oh.
And they took my other half.
Shout out to them.
Shout out to
the other.
Guess
people.
who the other one? The other half. Guess who? The half of the company. It's with
so
us.
what happened? So at this point, the LMG group is kind of identifying this and kind of saying, right? Was it like that? You guys are
We've been
identifying.
identifying these guys for 2 years already.
So now you're saying, you guys are identifying this and saying, you know what, man? Picking like, I guess knowing them and kind of choosing.
I'm gonna tell you something.
Parentheses, they didn't know me. That's why.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna tell you something, and one of the reasons I'm gonna leave it like that is because I didn't want to cut him off because he was telling the whole story, and I want everybody to understand that there are real stories that that happen and to get to this, and in the end, even if they go as high as making $40,000 a month, which is it's amazing in the first couple of years. There's always something, but it doesn't mean that you got to
like
stop right there.
Yeah.
We have been watching, not only them, we've been watching different people, and we are actually helping a few.
Okay.
Nowadays, we're happy to do that. But the main thing is this, that the ones that are willing to go the
extra mile
and that extra step, for sure, are the ones that are capable of taking in this information, being able to understand that even though there's an ego in this business, you have to understand that somebody else has been there already. There are experiences, and if they're willing to share them, take advantage of that.
Yeah.
Take advantage of that. I don't want to get too deep into that because I think that we might be able to sit down and talk about where we are at later on, because this mentorship is only starting, but we wanted to make sure that we shared, how like some people's stories when they start in the business have some,
ups and downs.
But right now, this is a second way up.
That's where I was coming into. And that's literally what we're trying to be getting into for the past 30, 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Which is the mentorship part.
We probably have how much longer do we have? We got 5 minutes.
Okay, to finish with. I did something that I had, but it's really hard for everyone, which was getting into the point that I said, you know what, let's start from zero. Like, not even a company, like
yeah,
zero.
I was going to ask you, so now this is year what? This is year 4?
Year 3.
3, okay, so now after year 3 of all this
everything
booms and this, and now you've been identified by, people who really know the business, and they've come to you and said, hey dude, we've seen what you've done, talk to us, let's partner.
Actually, what happened was that they partnered up with Christian and Adam.
Okay.
And they started parties, and they contacted me because we've been working together.
Okay.
But they contacted me as a sub promoter.
All right.
By the way, people, Christian and Adam are our new younger generation partners.
Okay.
Okay. So what happened was that they
those
contacted me.
Those are the younger generations of LMG.
When it comes to
shout
the
outs
ego
to those
part,
guys. By the way, shout outs to Christian who let me in this past weekend to a party.
Yes. I said, hey, I'm not doing anything. Let's focus on me right now. If the promoters that don't want to work, I'm not gonna push them into work. Let's focus on yourself first, and then you can focus on them. So I said, hey, why not? Let's start working together.
Hey, so good for you. So you spoke about the ego thing. Like now it seems like you set your ego aside.
Yes.
And kind of identified that there's a lot of opportunities in this business, and you want to take yourself to the next level, and now you're getting this mentor. Yeah, hopefully you won't have a boom.
What I've been experiencing for the past 2-3 months,
right,
is that they do actually want to help me. They don't want to take advantage of me. Like, they even say there's been times that I earn more money than them. That's why they say, I gotta see that. No, I'm just kidding.
I want to see the books.
I want to see the books.
I'm sure.
It's not about the money for us.
Exactly. That's something that I actually like, because I had the same mentality. Okay, so now what I've been doing is that I'm being mentored by Julio and Quilla. I think
Right.
they're helping me out so well.
Awesome.
I'm actually stepping up again of my game. Actually, they gave me the opportunity of being actually again part owner of a party. What I saw the most is that they actually want to help me.
We're not
Cool.
we're not part of it. We just basically got him the deal.
Exactly. They
Awesome.
got me the deal. I think that's the best thing because nobody has done that for me. I've always been the one getting into the things.
Beautiful. Erick, where could people find you, man? Especially for your parties. I want to go to them. Give them your Instagram account.
Once again, my Instagram will be Erick R Diaz B, and my phone number as well is 786-657-5229. Guys,
Nice.
if you guys want to get a good party in Brickell, you guys can contact me. Contact Julio. They're great. We're actually great together. We work together on Saturdays.
Thank you very much for listening. Follow me at Ico Taps Beer at Doral Food and Wine Festival as well. Thank you very much.
The Nightlife Entrepreneur. Remember, you guys, YouTube, iTunes, Spotify,
Follow us.
Podomatic, Facebook, Instagram, everywhere.
Everywhere.
Nightlife Entrepreneurs. You
Now,
can
now
find us
pass me
there.
that bomba because I'm starving.
We'll see you next week.
There you go, man.